If you're just starting out with OFM and you've signed your first client, but at this point you're very new to the business and you don't have a lot of experience with growing and building social media pages, a really quick and easy way to get your creators growing on Instagram is simply just copying the current trends. Now, this is always going to work better if your model or your client is more conventionally attractive to a wider range of people. The more people that find them attractive, the easier it's going to be to go viral without using niche trends, without building a niche profile, without building a brand. You can just put them on, they can make these videos, and they can easily go viral. Now, it can work with more niche creators, but the best use case for this is when you have a creator that is essentially just your average IG model. They're very, very attractive, and they can just create these trends and instantly go viral. Now, the way you want to present this to your client is a monthly trend report. So you can see an example here of a trend report. It's really nothing high level. It's very, very simple. And you're going to add a little bit of context for your client. So when you send this over, obviously you've got the newly trending. And a little instruction, just upload 2 or 3 of these a day. Don't forget, you can also add your own twist to the trend. You can add your own personality. And then what we put here, you're going to replace all these links with the trends you've chosen for the model. If your model is quite niche and they won't really fit with general trends, you can make a trend report with any niche creator. So if you've decided they're niche or they're already in a niche just because the way they appear, find similar creators on Instagram and find 20 to 30 videos, put them in the trend report, send that out every single week. Make sure it's easy to find for the creator and they can easily have a look at these videos, they can copy them, and they've already gone viral, so they've proved it can work if they copy them correctly. So this removes, especially if you're a beginner, it removes needing to figure out what goes viral, how do I get them to go viral, thinking of your own video ideas. You can just copy the current trends because it's already working. As you get more advanced, you'll figure out what does work, how to create specific content for specific creators, how to create your own content plans, and I'd recommend only doing that for the creators that do want to do really well and do have a very good work ethic. If they don't want loads of work, if they don't have a lot of free time, just stick with the general trend reports. It's going to save you a bunch of time, it's going to save your team a bunch of time, and it's also going to save your client a bunch of time, and it's got the best chance of going viral with the least work possible. You should also include a section, one from Instagram Reels, one from TikTok, just because TikTok's kind of got stricter rules and different things go viral on different platforms. So it's good to include TikTok and Instagram Reels and create separate content for each one. If you can't create separate content for each one, just tell them to make the TikTok ones and repost them to Instagram. Because Instagram's rules, they're a lot more lenient. So if you create the TikTok ones that are safe for TikTok, they're also going to be safe for Instagram. But if you do it the other way around, the ones that are safe on Instagram might not be safe for TikTok. The way you can get the TikTok videos, you can either use a repurposing app, but it's going to drop the quality and add us 1 second delay. So I'd avoid that if possible. Just create a simple Google Drive, share it with your client, and get them to upload their TikToks into here. So you can take them or they can take them directly and upload them to their Instagram profiles. So that's the really basic trend report, and if you want to get more advanced, you'll move on to something like this, which is a blueprint for a vertical. A vertical is just another word for niche. If you're trying out different verticals with your client, different niches, and they have a lot of time on their hands, each vertical they do, they need to be educated on the vertical. And to educate them, you can provide them something like this. I'm not going to show the whole document because very, very valuable stuff, but you can get an idea just by looking through this overview on my screen right now. And for example, say you have a client, they have a great camera setup, they have great lighting, and they're actually an interesting talker or they're just an interesting person in general. What you can do, and what I do, is I'll jump on a call with the client, I'll treat it like a podcast, and I'll basically just ask them a bunch of questions. Now these questions, you shouldn't make them boring. You shouldn't just be having a general conversation. You shouldn't be like, oh, what did you eat for dinner last night? Instead, you want to ask either questions that are controversial or on current topics. Basically ones that people want to see, and when people are scrolling through their feed, they'll stop and actually watch. So right now it's the election. If they're in America, you can ask them political questions. That could go viral, that could get attention because people care about that. Or there's a bunch of drama going on with a young filly right now. You could even ask them about that and it could go viral because they're talking about someone who is already viral and a lot of people care and it's a hot topic that everyone's talking about. So choose questions that are interesting or that will create interesting/controversial answers. And the way to create this is you can be on the call, just on the side. Your voice doesn't need to be in it. You don't need to be in it. Or if you want to actually interview them in person and you have that ability, that's fine as well. I've seen that work really, really well on social media. Either way, you can treat it like a podcast, get a nice camera set up, make sure everything looks good, and then you can just go through get them to ask a bunch of questions, and then you can send that off to a lovely Indian editor that will do it for $5 per reel or $3 per reel. Or if you want, you can learn how to edit them yourself if you have loads of time but not a lot of money. and not a lot of clients. If you have one client, you can definitely just edit these yourself, get them how you want them, and then post them for your client. And in this industry, what I hear a lot is, oh, my client just won't make the videos, or they're lazy, they don't stay consistent with the content, I can't get it to work, I put all this time in and now they won't make the videos. And what's going wrong here could be a bunch of different things. So the best thing to do in this case is get your client on a call and go through what is stopping them creating the right amount of videos. Do they not like the content? Do they need to make content that they're actually interested in? Do they have too many responsibilities? Do they think it's not worth it? Go through all the possible options that could be stopping them from creating the content, and what you can do if your client agrees to it. If they are lacking motivation, they just can't be bothered, they have no incentive to do it, you can give away an extra percentage of their commission from the account. You can give away another 5%, so maybe you're 50-50, and you can offer another 5% to them if they go ahead and they create the set amount of content. So say they're making 10 reels a week and you want 21, you can say if you make an extra 11 this week for the rest of the month, if you do 21 for the next 3 weeks, you can get an extra 5% commission. That's fine, because although you're giving away money, in theory, you're both going to make more money because of the extra content and the extra subscribers it's going to bring. So you can definitely motivate them with terms like this, or something even more fun, like, oh, we'll buy you a new outfit, we'll take you on holiday, blah blah. Depends where your creator is at, and depends where their revenue's at. If they're doing something like 30 to 50k, you can do really cool bit incentives and get them really motivated that way. But just the main thing is maintaining a good relationship, being there for them, understanding their situation, and helping them through it. And if you try all this, it really isn't working and the account's making new money, that's a shame, but you're just going to have to give up usually and keep outreaching, find another creator that will do the work and you can work with and you can get great results. I see a lot of guys getting hung up on creators that don't do the work, and they're really limiting their potential because they're putting all this time into someone that doesn't want to work with them. So you can only do so much on your own, and the best way for them to get better results will be just to find another client and work with them and start from scratch. That's how you get stuck at 5k a month instead of getting to 50k a month, because you can have 5-6 creators that make 1-2k a month, or you can put the work in, put the time in, and build one creator to 50k a month, which can be way less work and way more rewarding in the end. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to ask me any questions about any of these blueprints or how to actually find the trends, how to find the trending videos, just send me a message on Discord. I'll talk you through it a little bit more and I'll help you out. So I hope you found this interesting, and I'll speak to you soon.